Janelle's son Gabe told Dad Kody he'd never see him again if he didn't take accountability. Janelle noted that she doesn't know what it would take at this point to get things back on track. Gabe Brown is letting his boundaries be known. As Gabe made and enjoyed breakfast with his mom Janelle Brown during the Sunday, October 13th episode of Sister Wives, the 22-year-old revealed that his father Kody Brown, 55, had hit me up to chat. It was like strange because he was like, "Hey, I miss you." And then, he was like, he kept, phrasing it like I owed him an apology, Gabe recalled. Eventually, I was just like, "Hey, unless you're, actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore," Gabe continued. He came back a couple of days later and texted me. His "Hey, I've been thinking about what you've been saying. I forgive you, please forgive me." I was like, "Forgive me for what? What's going on here?" At one point, Gabe said, "I told Dad that if he doesn't change and he can't take accountability, then I just won't ever see him again. And I'm perfectly okay with that." Janelle, meanwhile, noted that she doesn't know what it would take at this point to get things back on track, especially with everybody in the family being so busy and they're starting to spread out across the country. But Gabe said, "I think it would take Dad really setting things straight. And I think that would take an act of God." From there, Janelle, 55, then expressed in a confessional that she believes the COVID-19 quarantine period, which jump-started Kody's estrangement from much of the family, had just presented an opportunity for their dad to do what he's been wanting to do for a long time, which was live and make a life with his favorite wife, she said, referring to Kody's fourth wife Robin Brown, 44. Their dad had been expressing things to them just off the cuff about, he wished that he would have waited and just married Robin. "I don't know what dad says that to their kids, but my kids have many stories like that," Janelle continued, though Kody denied it and called the gossip surrounding this a misunderstanding. As Gabe and Janelle's conversation shifted to discussing Robin, Gabe said, "I think that Robin definitely has a victim complex. I mean, to put it bluntly, and I don't necessarily blame her for that." Gabe also said he missed being close to Robin and Kody's children, but he can't blame them at all for following on along party lines. "If she actually believes that we were mistreating her or her children in any way when she was constantly getting favorited by Dad and we were always working on our relationship with her kids. If she actually believes that, then there's no chance of me having a relationship with Robin ever again," Gabe declared. "I don't know, I don't have a lot of respect for Robin, so it's hard for me to rationalize some of her actions. Maybe that's the reason that she's like, 'Oh, you always hated us,' is because she doesn't have our respect anymore because she does us like that." Continuing to candidly address how he feels, Gabe added that he is not hopeful for a relationship with Dad and Robin. Janelle's son Gabe told Dad Kody he'd never see him again if he didn't take accountability. The Brown family's ongoing turmoil has once again come to light, with Janelle and Kody Brown's son, Gabriel, taking a firm stand against his father. Their fractured relationship has been a key focus in recent years, but now, a heartbreaking revelation has surfaced. Gabe reportedly told Kody that if he didn't take accountability for his actions, he would never see him again. This devastating declaration exposes the depth of their strained relationship and highlights the ongoing fallout within the once-close Sister Wives family. Gabe's relationship with Kody has been deteriorating for quite some time. Over the years, tensions between them escalated, particularly during the pandemic when Kody's strict and seemingly unfair rules caused deep divisions among his children. Gabe, one of the most outspoken among Kody's kids, was deeply hurt by his father's choices and treatment of the family. He was among those who felt abandoned and disregarded, leading to a growing rift between him and Kody. The final breaking point reportedly came when Kody failed to show any remorse or acknowledgement of his actions. According to sources, Gabe confronted his father and made it clear that he would not tolerate the emotional neglect any longer. In a moment of raw emotion, he told Kody that unless he took accountability for the pain he had caused, he would no longer have a place in his life. This ultimatum left many stunned, but it was not entirely unexpected. Gabe had long been vocal about his frustrations, and this was the culmination of years of unresolved issues. Kody's response, or lack thereof, has only fueled the tension. Known for his unwillingness to admit fault, Kody has often justified his actions rather than addressing the hurt he has caused his children. Instead of recognizing Gabe's pain, Kody reportedly continued to deflect responsibility, further solidifying the distance between them. His tendency to dismiss the emotions of his children has played a significant role in the family's disintegration, and this situation with Gabe is no different. Janelle has been one of the few parental figures consistently standing by her children. While she initially tried to mediate the conflict between Gabe and Kody, she ultimately sided with her son, recognizing the pain he had endured. Janelle has always prioritized her children's well-being, and Gabe's emotional turmoil was something she could not ignore. She reportedly supported his decision to hold Kody accountable, even if it meant severing ties. The broader implications of Gabe's decision are immense. This public fracture further highlights the dysfunctional dynamic within the Brown family. With Christine already having left Kody and Mary following suit, Janelle's relationship with Kody has been in a precarious position for quite some time. Gabe's firm stance against his father only adds to the growing consensus that Kody's actions have driven his family apart. For fans of Sister Wives, this development is both heartbreaking and telling. The Browns once prided themselves on being a united, plural family, but that image has long since crumbled. Kody's favoritism toward Robin and his neglect of his other children have been major points of contention. Gabe's decision to potentially cut ties with his father reflects the disillusionment that many of Kody's older children feel. The emotional weight of Gabe's words is profound. Telling a parent they will never see you again unless they change is not something said lightly. It signifies deep pain, betrayal, and a loss of faith in the relationship. Gabe, like many of Kody's children, had once believed in the family unit, but that belief has been shattered by years of broken promises and emotional neglect. Kody's refusal to acknowledge his faults has long been his downfall. Instead of fostering relationships with his children, he has chosen to isolate himself, prioritizing his own interests and his relationship with Robin above all else. This pattern has been evident for years, and Gabe's ultimatum is just another example of the consequences Kody now faces. Mary claims her child was not taken care of with money from family fund. The Brown family's financial drama continues to unravel, and this time, it's Mary Brown who is speaking out. In a shocking revelation, Mary has claimed that her child, Leon Brown, was not taken care of with money from the family fund. This accusation has once again put the financial dealings within the Sister Wives family under scrutiny, raising questions about how money was managed in their once unified polygamous household. Mary's claim is particularly striking because it directly contradicts the idea that all the children in the Brown family were treated equally when it came to financial support. Throughout the years, Kody Brown and his wives have insisted that their plural marriage operated on a system of fairness, where resources were shared among all the wives and children. However, Mary's statement suggests otherwise, hinting at a potential misuse of funds that should have been available to help support Leon. The Brown family's finances have long been a controversial topic. With multiple households to manage and an ever-expanding number of children, their financial structure was complicated, to say the least. In the past, the wives have claimed that they pooled their earnings into a common fund, which was then distributed as needed. This system was supposed to ensure that all children had access to the resources necessary for their well-being, including education, healthcare, and everyday expenses. But Mary's recent claim suggests that not all children were treated equally, and her child may have been left out when financial support was most needed. Leon Brown, formerly known as Mariah, is Mary's only biological child with Kody. Unlike some of Kody's other children, Leon's upbringing was often marked by emotional and financial challenges. As the only child in a household with just one wife, Leon did not have the same level of sibling interaction that children from the other wives had. This difference in family structure may have played a role in how financial resources were allocated, and Mary now seems to be confirming suspicions that her child was not prioritized. For years, there have been whispers among Sister Wives fans that Robin Brown and her children received more financial support than the other wives and their kids. Many viewers have speculated that Kody favored Robin's children, particularly since she came into the marriage with 3 kids from a previous relationship. These children were later legally adopted by Kody, which raised concerns that they were given special financial privileges that the other children were not afforded. Mary's claim now adds more weight to these suspicions. One of the key moments that might support Mary's argument happened when Kody and Robin decided to buy their massive home in Flagstaff. While the other wives were struggling with financial insecurity, Kody and Robin seemed to have no problem securing funds for their luxury property. This disparity led many to question how family money was really being divided and whether some wives and children were receiving more than their fair share. Mary's frustration is understandable, especially considering the sacrifices she made for the family. As the first wife, she was there from the very beginning, helping to build the foundation of their polygamous lifestyle. However, she has often been treated as an outsider, particularly in recent years. Her struggles with infertility meant that she had fewer children than the other wives, which may have contributed to her being sidelined in family discussions about finances. The issue of financial unfairness within the Brown family has been a long-standing one. Christine Brown, who was the first wife to leave Kody, previously opened up about how she had to fight for financial security after her split. Janelle Brown also expressed concerns over how money was managed, especially after Kody's controversial decision to legally marry Robin so he could adopt her children. Many fans believe that this move gave Robin even more control over family resources, pushing the other wives and their children to the sidelines. Mary's recent statement about Leon not being taken care of financially might also reflect deeper emotional wounds. Over the years, her relationship with Leon has gone through its ups and downs, particularly after Leon came out as transgender. While Mary has publicly expressed support for her child, there have been reports of tension between them. This financial dispute may be another layer in their complicated relationship, with Mary possibly feeling guilt or regret for not being able to provide better financial security for Leon. Fans of Sister Wives have taken to social media to express their shock and frustration over Mary's revelation. Many are calling out Kody for what they perceive as blatant favoritism, arguing that his financial decisions have harmed his other children. Others are criticizing the overall structure of the Brown family's financial management, claiming that it was never truly equitable despite the public image they tried to present. Kody has yet to respond to Mary's claim, but given his history of deflecting responsibility, it is unlikely that he will directly address the issue. In the past, he has been known to justify his actions by claiming that financial decisions were made with the best interests of the family in mind. However, with multiple wives and children now publicly expressing dissatisfaction, his credibility is quickly eroding. As Mary continues to carve out a new life for herself outside of the Brown family dynamic, she is becoming more vocal about the injustices she experienced during her marriage to Kody. Her recent claim about Leon being financially neglected might just be the beginning of a larger conversation about how the Brown family truly operated behind closed doors. If more wives and children come forward with similar accusations, it could further tarnish Kody's reputation and expose even deeper financial mismanagement within the family. This revelation also raises questions about what will happen next for Mary and Leon. If Mary believes that Leon was not financially supported in the way they should have been, will she take further action? Will she demand compensation or seek legal action against Kody for misusing family funds? While no legal claims have been made yet, it wouldn't be surprising if this issue escalates into a larger battle. Meanwhile, Leon has remained relatively quiet about the situation. As someone who has stepped away from the Sister Wives spotlight, they may not want to get involved in the public drama. However, if Mary continues to speak out, Leon might eventually feel compelled to share their side of the story. This latest controversy only adds to the ongoing narrative that the Brown family was never as united as they claimed to be. Over the years, cracks in their foundation have become more and more visible, with financial disputes playing a major role in their unraveling. With Christine and Janelle already gone and Mary now making bold statements, it seems inevitable that more secrets about the family's finances will come to light. Mary's claim about Leon not being taken care of financially is a serious one, and it speaks to the broader issues that have plagued the Brown family for years. While the family once presented itself as a model of functional polygamy, the truth appears to be far messier. Could a cast shakeup put Robin and Kody in the background? Taking the focus off them might end the series. For years, Sister Wives has revolved around the intricate and often volatile dynamics of Kody Brown and his 4 wives. However, as the tides continue to shift within the Brown family, A pressing question has emerged: could a cast shakeup push Kody and Robin into the background? If that were to happen, would it mark the beginning of the end for Sister Wives? The show, which originally set out to provide an inside look at the daily lives of a plural family, has undergone a dramatic transformation over the years. In its early seasons, the series explored how Kody managed his relationships with Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robin, balancing their individual needs while trying to maintain a unified family. However, as time passed, cracks began to form, and the narrative shifted from a story of unity to one of division and heartache. Christine's departure was a game-changer, setting off a chain reaction that led to Janelle and Mary also walking away from Kody. Now, the show finds itself in a precarious position, with the focus almost entirely on Kody and Robin, a dynamic that many fans have grown tired of. There has been growing speculation that TLC could introduce a cast shakeup to keep the show fresh and prevent viewers from losing interest. With Christine happily remarried to David Woolley, Janelle carving out an independent life, and Mary pursuing her own ventures, there is an opportunity to shift the spotlight to the women who have broken free from Kody's control. This would mean less screen time for Kody and Robin, which could be both a blessing and a curse for the show's future. One of the key reasons fans continue to tune in is to see the fallout of Kody's actions and how the former sister wives are moving on without him. Christine has been particularly vocal about her newfound happiness, and her journey with David Woolley has captured the audience's attention. Many viewers have expressed a desire to see more of Christine's new life, with some even calling for a spin-off focusing on her and David. Janelle's independence is also a major draw, as fans admire her resilience and determination to create a life outside of Kody's shadow. Even Mary, despite her complicated history with Kody, has begun to explore life on her own terms, making her storyline one that many are invested in. If TLC were to embrace this shift and reduce Kody and Robin's screen time, it could lead to a fascinating new chapter for Sister Wives. The narrative would no longer revolve around Kody's controlling behavior or Robin's perceived manipulation. Instead, it would focus on the journeys of the women who broke free. This could breathe new life into the series, offering viewers a fresh perspective and a more empowering storyline. However, there is also the risk that sidelining Kody and Robin could ultimately spell the end of the show. Despite the frustration many fans feel toward Kody and Robin, there is no denying that they are a central force within the series. Much of the drama stems from Kody's questionable decisions and Robin's alleged favoritism. If they were pushed into the background, the show could lose its main source of conflict, making it harder to maintain viewer engagement. While Christine, Janelle, and Mary's new lives are compelling, they lack the level of chaos that has made Sister Wives a reality TV sensation. The show's ratings have remained strong, largely due to the drama surrounding Kody's crumbling family structure. If TLC were to shift away from that, they would need to ensure that the new direction is just as engaging. A potential solution could be to introduce new cast members, perhaps following Christine and Janelle's dating lives more closely, or even introducing other polygamous families to provide fresh perspectives on plural marriage. This could create a more dynamic show that doesn't rely solely on Kody's antics to stay relevant. Another factor to consider is how Kody and Robin would react to being pushed into the background. Kody has always relished the attention, and it's unlikely that he would accept a diminished role without resistance. Robin, who has been accused of orchestrating much of the family's downfall, may also push back against any changes that take the spotlight away from her and Kody's version of events. If TLC were to pursue this shift, there could be behind-the-scenes tension, with Kody and Robin fighting to maintain their prominence within the series. It's also worth noting that a cast shakeup could have financial implications. The Brown family has relied heavily on Sister Wives as their primary source of income. If Kody and Robin were no longer the focus, they might struggle to secure the same level of financial stability. This could lead to further discord within the family, as Kody has often been accused of mismanaging money and prioritizing Robin's needs over everyone else's. The fan response to a potential cast shakeup has been mixed. While many viewers are eager to see less of Kody and Robin, there is also concern that removing them from the spotlight could weaken the show's impact. Sister Wives thrives on drama, and without the central conflict that Kody and Robin provide, it's unclear whether the series could sustain itself in the long run. Ultimately, the decision lies with TLC. They must weigh the risks and rewards of shifting the focus away from Kody and Robin while ensuring that the show remains compelling. If they find a way to successfully transition to a new narrative, one that highlights the strength and resilience of Christine, Janelle, and Mary, sister wives could continue to thrive. However, if Kody and Robin's presence is significantly diminished without a strong replacement storyline, it could signal the beginning of the end for the series. For now, Sister Wives remains one of the most talked about reality shows, and its future hangs in the balance. Whether TLC chooses to embrace change or stick with the current formula, one thing is certain: fans will be watching closely to see what happens next.